In today's video, we are going to be doing an unboxing and first impressions of this 8-tool cordless Craftsman tool set. So let's get started. Alright, so right inside the box you will find the bags, so be careful not to cut the bags when you cut the tape to open the box. Removing the cardboard, you find the reciprocating saw. Next, the oscillating saw. One of the two 2-amp-hour batteries included in this set. The flashlight. The instructions manuals, as well as 2 saw blades, one blade for the reciprocating saw and a blade for the jigsaw. Also, you get 2 drill bits, a reversible Phillips and standard for the drill, and a Phillips for the impact driver. The last thing I just took out was the dust bag for the sander. 3 pads for the sander, which include a P80, a P120, and a P240 grit. The charger. The impact driver. The jigsaw, the second of the 2 batteries, the drill, the sander, and finally the circular saw. Also, one more bag with a blade for the oscillating saw, as well as a sanding block for it, and 3 pads, a P80, P100, and P240 grit. And one last thing, the blade for the circular saw. Alright, so first impressions. Let's start with the bags. If I have a choice between a bag and a hard case, I will choose the bag. Bags are so much more versatile, as well as not only being able to fit your tools in them easier, but you can also fit a lot of other things in your bag as well, such as safety glasses, pencils, hearing protection, utility knives, your jacket you need it in the morning but not in the middle of the day, and so much more. So to get bags is nice. These bags, while not being the most durable feeling I've ever felt, are by no means cheap feeling either. Also, you get 2 of them, which is nice. The drill is probably going to be one of the most used tools in this set, and from my first impressions, this is a good one. The materials used has a nice quality feel. The handle feels good in the hand, and the rubber feels good on the hand even if you don't have gloves on. Also, the light is placed in a good spot and is one of the brightest and most usable I have seen on a drill. While it may not be the lightest cordless drill I've ever used, it's definitely not the heaviest either. All in all, my first impressions of this drill are pretty good. The impact driver, one of my favorite tools. This one is a bit bigger though than others I have used in the past. This one is almost as big as the drill. Size aside, it, like the drill, has a quality feel, and the handle has the same feel as the drill in the hand, so that's a good thing. Also, the light, just like the drill, is bright and well placed. For impact drivers, it is on the heavier side of what I'm used to though, and with it being as long as it is, I question how it will work in tighter spaces. Okay, so moving on to the reciprocating saw. The reciprocating saw has a nice look and feel, with the grips fitting nicely in the hands. Not only that, but it's also one of the lightest reciprocating saws I have ever used. It features a toolless blade change and variable speed trigger, which are honestly quite common nowadays, but still worth noting. And on to the circular saw. Same as the last tool, the circular saw has a nice look and feel, with the grips fitting nicely in the hands, and also feeling nice even without gloves on. Also, this saw is light enough for most people to easily be able to use one-handed. Moving on to the jigsaw. Once again, Craftsman did a really good job on the handle, with it fitting well in the hand, and even without gloves on it still feels nice. The weight is about the same as most other jigsaws I have used. I am however disappointed that this saw does not have a light or laser guide on it, both of which are very nice to have, and when you don't have them, you do tend to miss them a bit. Recently I got to use several different jigsaws, a Bosch, a Skill, and a Makita, all of which perform very differently, so I'm interested to see how this one does, especially in comparison to those. Alright, moving on to the oscillating saw. Oscillating saws are my personal favorite type of saws. This one I actually got to use not long after opening the box, and I'm not going to say much about what I thought of it using it there. I'm going to save that for the actual review. I will say this, it has a quality feel and the handle feels good even when you don't have gloves on. It's not too heavy, and when you have a battery in it, you can sit it down easily without having to worry about it rolling off. The only thing I'm not sure about is it has an on and off switch with a speed control on the side instead of having a variable speed trigger. Now this may not seem like a big deal to some, but to others this is something that you're really going to miss if you don't have it. I will say this, after having used it, there are a few things I would change. But unlike some of the other ones I have used, this saw actually got the job done. If you get a good blade, this saw is a good option. Okay, moving on to the sander. The first thing that stood out to me about the sander was the handle. Unlike the rest of the tools, the handle on this one is a bit big and doesn't feel that great. If my hand was any smaller, it would be hard to use and not that comfortable. That being said, the materials feel just as quality as the rest, and the weight isn't too bad either. The dust bag is a bit odd to put on though, as it's got some sort of weird locking mechanism that I've never seen before. I'll have to check the instructions manual to make sure I have it on right, as it's not that easy to tell. Sanders are not something I use much, but when I do get a chance to use it, I'll let you guys know what I think. On to the batteries. Two 2 Ah batteries included in this set have a nice feel. They are made out of slightly harder feeling plastic than the tools, but they don't feel so hard that if you dropped them, they'd be brittle and break. They're not too big or heavy, and they also have battery beaters on them, which I personally think is essential. When charging the batteries from completely dead, it took about 53 minutes to fully charge, which, while that's not the worst, it's also not the best. And finally, we come to the flashlight. Now, a lot of people I hear like to say that companies like to add these to the toolkits as a cheap way to add another tool to the kit, and quite honestly, I tend to agree. But recently I started using mine from one of my older toolkits, and I really started liking it. This one is no exception. Since opening this box of tools, this has become my go-to flashlight. It's super easy, it's fairly compact, and it's quite bright. Not only that, but it feels good in the hand and it's not heavy. Also, with its multi-angle head, it works good if you need to set it someplace, and so you can use both hands while you work. So in summary, my first impressions of this set are good. The tools have a quality feel and seem like they will be able to do their jobs well. Probably last for a long time, especially if they are taken care of. And with that, I think we are done, so thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. If you found today's video helpful or entertaining, then hit that like button. And if you really liked it, then get subscribed and make sure to enable notifications by hitting that bell icon. But wait, there's more! I also have another channel which you can find a link to in the video description, along with a link to the items featured in today's video. And as always, thank you all for watching, hope you all enjoyed, and see you all next time.